So I'm curious to see what kind of expertise he is going to show us. Quinn, thanks very much for the 2 months. Thank you for dedicating your prime sub here to Z Live. I appreciate it. But it looks like we can get ourselves into the game in just a second. I have to get the music off. We're going to have to get serious now. Some sudden commentary incoming. There's E3 going on as well this weekend, so I know that after this is all over, I'll probably be tuning into some of the E3 streams. I believe there's Microsoft's stuff today. I've heard this contains information potentially of Cyberpunk, so I will be watching closely. And if they say, oh, Cyberpunk's out next week, then I'm going to have to express order a new video card so that I can play that game. However, getting over to the game now, we've got a visor. Okay, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Solid pick, always. But the Athena, I think Athena could be kind of spicy. A decent champion, possibly even against a visor, considering visor's not a hyper-mobile champion, and Athena is. Maybe if Buxter utilizes Athena to her full capabilities, we could see some really, really good attacks. Being able to take control decently. He's now finally getting himself to some of the trifecta. There's a good rocket. Almost the rail to follow up. And Base actually finds a really sick shot from down below. Just to fade things away. And that is pretty much all of the light armor's taken now, I think. There might be one at the top. He needs to get out. I do not know how Base hit so much just then. That was a lot of LG. 70% LG as Buxter was whizzing away. But he clearly would have predicted that. It's like, right, his only escape route is blah. Well, actually, I guess he could have gone up the stairs. But there's not that much for him to work with up the stairs. The rest of the map is through the other doorway. Bracket command should be working. If not, try brackets or baguette. But those commands should be somewhere. I think it's smart to say that the prediction for this match is probably a fairly strong victory for Base, given what we've seen from him in the past. However, in the Z Live Duel Series 2, Base went out, I think, after winning the first Z Live Duel Series. I think he went out in 3rd place. I was going to say 4th, but I think it was actually 3rd. He lost to Cooler in the lower bracket final. Yeah, try exclamation mark baguette or brackets. Oh, that's a good rocket. LG to follow. Buxter still moving forward a little bit. Base has got piercing sight. Can try and get himself an easy rail. Goes for a tricky rocket instead. Small missed opportunity for Base just then. He should have been able to lock out another kill. And this rail won't mean as much anymore. Or at least mitigate some of Buxter's stack, but would not secure him an extended lead. Base playing very steady. No overextensions whatsoever. Hits a good rail. As he knows he could push over to that bridge pretty cleanly. And he does a little rocket jump over in case Buxter happens to want to stick around. He'll be able to launch a good rocket, get some LG on. But Buxter's the one who needs to get a bit of free damage at the moment. He's missing a lot of these shots. Okay, there's finally a couple of good rockets. He hits the rail afterwards. Chance now for Buxter to get on the board. Goes back up, but he has to hit this rail. He's taken the mega health, so he's looking a little bit better. But oh my god, all of the damage with the heavy machine gun. Sudden burst of 10s. And Buxter will rotate on some other items instead. He's got 25 seconds left cooldown, so he should have one hook available to him. Yo, Lure for the 9 months. Thank you very much, Lure. Pog indeed. Buxter actually wants to drop down on this one. Base finally fairly weak. And now with all the hooks being used up, Buxter will be able to sustain some control a little longer. He has spotted him. Does he know that he hasn't yet gone over to heavy? He'll hear it now. He'll have exact timing. Those nails can hurt. He wants to get the payout that he wants with that damage. managing his ammunition pretty decently as well. Only rails looking a little bit low, but these rockets are phenomenal from Buxter. He's going to be able to take the lead now. And like I said, I really, really like the champion pick that Buxter made. I think Athena works very well against a less mobile champion. Okay, maybe you got like Galena and Eisen where there's a lot more totems and things that you can run into. Is he going to be able to secure another? I think he's not estimated the stacks well enough, but Base having trouble with the switches. I don't know if he didn't have machine gun, but machine gun switch would have helped him the most. And Buxter's just going to back out. He's got full hooks available. And stabilize, stabilize, stabilize. And maybe a little bit of damage from a distance if possible. It's just spotted him. That's some useful information. It's quickly going to get away so it doesn't take any extra damage on the exit. And you can consider that a pretty enormous success. Also gets the rocket to hit after. Not landing any rails though. Should be an easy rail. That's it. Now Base. We know how amazing he is at holding control, holding leads. He had the 1-0. Didn't work out for him. Now he's actually got to chase the lead. And a map like Blood Covenant against such a mobile champion like Athena. I'm slightly anxious for him, although it's only a 2-frag score pad. Good defensive rail. That's going to block more momentum. Holding this up in the air a little bit long there. Hooks. Goes for the rail instead. One hook kind of misses. Goes back through. Might regret that move. Just anticipating Base wanting to go through the teleporter. So he goes back through the teleporter in order to try and supposedly dodge him. But Base wins the mind games. For another roll would be so nice, but he can't hit it. The algae comes out and Base is not ready for this. And that heavy's been up the whole time. It's still up. Buxter just doesn't go for it. Feels like a little bit of a fumble on timing, but I'd say that Base also had a fumble on his aim. So that'll be frustrating for him. And a slightly impatient push through the choke point. I think that Base really wants to get back in this. Look at that again, attacking in heavy, looking for the rail to follow up. With that heavy now being taken. Buxter has some room to work with. He's got no hooks left, so right now he's just a measly light champion. And there's one. Good ledge grab. Does kind of need a rail to land if he wants to balance things out or feel like control is easy. But now it's 3 minutes. At some point soon you start thinking about the clock. But at no point should you be thinking about just forfeiting everything for free. You've got to be exchanging on that damage. I was right below. Oh, big rocket actually. Hooks behind. Gets him in the air, but Base still lands the rocket. Buxter was expecting to have some sustained momentum, but Base body blocking it and securing the frag. Oh, Base. The timing to choose to jump down. He does kind of need to manage his ammunition a little better. And Buxter needs to get out. He's on 1 health. Literally 1 HP. Shotgun's missing! Rockets still land! And with 1 health, up to 26, somehow Buxter comes out on top. Just by injecting chaos into this. Oh, we got Mega, got Light. Can Buxter put a little... Oh, excuse me there with the notifications. Can Buxter put a little bit of a spin on this this series? Hits 1 rail. 1 rail is actually really, really good. If you hit a rail every 20 seconds right now, I think you're going to keep that lead. And you're going to get yourself across the finish line and a map advantage on Base. Again, another brilliant rail actually. Forces Base to have to go for the mega health. And now it's even harder for Base to find the route in to chase. He's got very little armor. That armor at the top of Catwalk was taken. And now Buxter holding a very, very defensive position. I'd almost go and get those hourglasses just to make sure that you've got as many hooks available to you as possible. Well, that time has already passed and he is already left. Let's just get out of there. If you let a rail hit you, it's actually pretty dangerous. Base might be using a piercing sight at the moment. Yeah, it's cooldown has just come off. Bucks has survived this. Now I don't really see a way for Base to win this. We need to see a mistake from Buxter for Base to have a go at it. That rocket. Okay, 2 more hooks have been used. 30 seconds left. This is it. Game is so hard for Base right now. 20 seconds. Buxter listening to as many sounds as he can. He knows where he is. He's locked him down. And hooks to get back up. We've got a rocket jump. It's a good move from Base, but he runs out of health. Tries his very best. He had a small chance to catch him off the spawn, but that's going to be GG's. Buxter actually takes the first map from Base. That's pretty sick. And I like the Athena pick. There's so rarely actually in competition have I been seeing light champions getting picked. I'm trying to think of other. I have the excuse me. I guess what I've seen most is probably Slash getting banned against players like Toxic. But otherwise, I don't really see a focus on light champions. The thing is, if these are the same rules, now I'm not entirely sure how the rulings work, but if it's the same rules as Z-Live Duel Series have had, then you're not allowed to pick Athena again. I will actually try and clarify. Yo, Synthesis, thank you for being the chat. But I don't know why the commands aren't working. I did update them. Oh, apparently you can. There's no repeat. There's no non-repeat champion rule at all in this tournament. So if Buxter would like to, he can use it again. If Base wants to use Visor, he can use it again. Yo, Neg, thanks very much for the biddies. Cheering for Buxter. Hey, it would be a bit of an upset to get Buxter into the winner bracket final. But Base is always someone who I'll refuse to count out until his final game is complete. Because he's probably one of the more reliable players of making it back from a lower bracket. You never seen Buxter lose a game on his stream? Really? Interesting. Very interesting. But I like that Buxter's grinding it. I do like that a lot. Let's see what maps we've got next. We've got Awoken up next. And it looks like they kind of manually pick beforehand. I think. God, it's going to be so hot in here. I mean, it's already... Actually, let's get that aircon going. Got like the most pathetic miniature AC unit below my desk. Oh, it's already better. It's decent. Feels good. Feels good. Why are my bracket commands not working? This Nightbot. What is going on? Did someone ban Nightbot? Nightbot. Okay, bot's not working. Or even there. I don't know what it's doing. But there is brackets here. I'll link it in chat manually. Going double eyes in here on Awoken. What's up, Baldoro? Holy crap, there's 6,533 people on the leaderboard. Damn. It's a decent amount of people being in this chat. Can Buxter do it twice in a row versus base in competition? I don't know.
Prepare to fight.
Honestly, I wouldn't have necessarily expected it once, but
Round
I'm willing to believe.
3, 2.
Let's go, guys. Map number 2 here between Base and Buxter in the 125 FPS Sunday Cup. That first 125 FPS Sunday Cup, or 125 FPS Cup, using the time limit duel format. Buxter just casually strolling past. Oh, okay, you missed the rail. His own turret. Basically, both turrets sacrificing themselves for nothing, really. Buxter wants those rockets, but knows that if he went over for them there now, or then, should I say, it would have been a total waste. He would have lost so much life. It would have been gone out. Gotta be careful pressing the fire button on that rail. He doesn't commit to that shot. And he's going to be able to escape and stack up a little. Like that play. Oh, he doesn't get the rail. I think a rail shot or rocket spam would have been nicer. Tries to make a rocket jump over to the rail area. Now he's got to flee. He's looking pretty damn weak. If base doesn't get the first frag, I'll be gobsmacked. Good little defensive rocket. He's losing the rail duel. Tries to stick around for another, but knows that it's just about time to leave. Base is so nearby. I don't know how he's not dead sooner. He manages to get over 100 damage off. He gets the nail gun, actually. Base is going to have to look out a little bit for this. Doing a good job of dodging. Even gets onto the heavy. I almost call that a blunder from base. Shotgun. Okay, rocket's going to be enough, but a really, really close fight. In terms of looking for sort of frag investment in order to get back in control, it's not a bad play. The base goes over to Mega, he gets a light, and already his stack's looking better and better. Oh, what a rocket. What a feels bad moment for Buxter. And I like what base has been doing with his turret. He puts it in a position where it can detect Buxter off the spawn, so he can immediately know without any sound cue from Buxter. The turret will just tell him the information he needs. Been looking kind of dominant at the moment for base. Health up. There is the Mega in a second. He's going to head over. He's actually going to get challenged for it. He had the option of removing it from the map, but he didn't do it. Oh, it looked like he tried to throw his turret through the hole in the wall. I don't like what base did. He should have had timing on the Mega health, and he should have known he can take it himself. I thought he was going to go and pick up the health and then go back to try and maximize the amount of healing that he got from the Mega. But he just kind of dropped it, and that gave Buxter the stack necessary to make that little comeback. So he's on the board, jumps into some LG, but hits a good combo himself. Buxter might be able to string together a couple more. However, he's going to need to stabilize a little bit. He needs a light armor to spawn. It should be up soon on connector. It's almost as if it's too quiet. He's just expecting base to be somewhere. Oh, and the rail lands. This is really, really big. Buxter's going to try and push this advantage. Rail, not quite going to hit. Now base just legging it. Buxter's got to understand the optimal route in which to chase. But in a couple of seconds' time, these major items are going to start respawning, so he cannot overcommit to this. He's got to know that base is probably going to get to 100 health, and that he'll find at least a light armor. Had he hit that rail, though, things could be different. That's a good rocket to block him away from the door. That'll be another. Base not able to survive anymore. Oh, the spawn over on heavy. 2 rails in a row. Bit of a recovery from Buxter. So a good recovery. Onto the light armor. He doesn't get the heavy, but he hits 2 rails instead. things could certainly be worse for him. As for tying things up, well, he just needs to hope that base doesn't go totally mental. We're up a base. He doesn't land the rail himself. Trying to hit something, but base not even showing its face then. Buxter, you've got to hit something. You've got to hit something soon. Going with the LG, both of them looking like they're hitting 100%. But I think Buxter can mostly blame some of the previously missed shots as to why he didn't secure that kill. Or at least why he wasn't able to survive, because had he hit the shots, I'm sure base would have left the vicinity. Base is very, very low. Buxter is going to risk it through the teleporter, but just dive straight through to elbow. Get some health. He might even be able to find some resources over at Lightning Gun Room. I think, is he? He's not holding on for the light armor. Buxter's in a shaky position right now. Okay, he hits an opening rocket. Base! Wow, mutual frag thanks to that turret. Base, I don't think he was expecting such a forward-facing position. Okay, nails have done good work. Oh no, he gets knocked out! He's trying to find that angle with the nails. And the turret also contributing. Has done some more damage now. Buxter's on 75 points of HP. He goes over to Connector. Base holding the advantage, but he's kind of out of map control. And no more rockets. Rockets have just been taken, so he's got to put himself in a dangerous spot if he wants to get more. However, Buxter's now left. And there's a rail. Big, big rail. There's a drop down. He'll make it to elbow, and he can get over the railable amount of HP. But Buxter now coming in. Everything has missed from him, and now suddenly the tables could have turned. Oh, Buxter. Okay, missed rocket. Buxter eventually makes a switch away from rockets, because those rocket shots are just so difficult to hit. As being on 100 HP is so important that he landed that. Buxter read that base would want to make an aggressive play of the rocket jump, which is very good anticipation from Buxter. Don't think a lot of people would make that read. Buxter's got to hit something. He's going to drop down, gives up a free rail. He's still trying to push forward. Goes for the rocket jump. He can't make it across in time. And now just over 2 minutes to go. I feel like Buxter's given himself such fine opportunities to get in this. Has he not got the rockets? I definitely would have cast down a rocket onto the mega platform as soon as possible. Or maybe he just rushed the connector. So I really want to go over to him to see if he picked it up. He might have done just then. Oh, that's too late for me to see now. Bye-bye, turret. And Buxter at the moment, he's just hoping for a miracle. It's looking like this map is going to be over soon. Oh, full double rocket just then, doing 200 damage. Thanks to the turret being there. And base has kind of found the straw that broke the camel's back, to be honest. Buxter makes it back now. It's... I don't know what to say. I probably won't say anything. It'll just be too ridiculous. Buxter, you gotta take risks, man. Just jump right in. Does base think that this item's up? Because there's a free kill. I mean, 5 more kills needed, but still. Rocket jump up, rocket jump up. Ah, come on, Buxter. He's not. I don't think he's even trying to make the comeback, to be honest. They're going up for bits of damage. He'll find another. But really, you've just got to face rush everything as he's got that little time left. He can make the score certainly very, very respectable. He'll get a neutral in the end. Still looks good, to be honest. What was it, 11-7 still? That's going to be GG. Buxter's left, and we will go over to a map 3. I wasn't expecting to go to a map 3. But it only took us one map to figure out that Buxter's kind of pretty prepared to this. I don't know if I even can fix the bracket command that flap. I genuinely don't think I can. I even set it up beforehand, but the bot decided to hate all of us. So on behalf of the bot, actually I don't even know what to say because the bot hates us. So we're going over to Ruins. Buxter is going to go Visor. Yeah, I might have to find a different bot, to be honest. Been using Nightbot for feels like years. So I guess the main players in this tournament are probably Base, Buxter, Agent, and Proximo. I think there's a couple of others like... we've got players like Inns, Strongest, Chera, Trolls. You know, some of the slightly lower tier then. People like Petchka, VDNL, Headbanger, and SE. But, yeah, I'd say if Buxter can really bring the game forward... oh, actually, Chera beat Proximo, so, you know, never mind that. So it is Chera and Agent playing in the other semi. I don't know if they've started yet or not. I think Agent's streaming, so you guys can probably tell me. Otherwise, I've no idea. But otherwise, we're watching this semi. But we move into map 3. I think Bucks has given us a pretty solid game. I'm trying to think what he could do. I'll see if I can come to some sort of an assessment at the end of the series.
Prepare to fight.
I think he was very solid on Blood Covenant. I think he made a very, very good champion pick. I think when he picks the same champion as base, that's where I feel like you can tell already just on through the theory who's going to come out on top in a very even same champion versus same champion race. Because I think base still is the better player. I just think he didn't know that Athena was going to get picked by Buxter, and his pick happened to be very bad versus it. Oh my god, that rocket was close. But we've got Visor now. And again, I'd have to put base as the advantaged player. I think he plays Duel a little better than Buxter, and that's partially because he's just very good at these VQ3 champions. Blood Covenant champs were Athena for Buxter and Visor for base. Base is going to be able to lock down the first kill. Buxter looks like he wanted that heavy, but didn't really have his exact timing on it. And kind of caught with his pants around his ankles. Nice little surprise rocket, actually. There's a piercing sight available, but it's not going to make a difference in the fight itself. And Buxter's just going to slip on by, but there's not a whole lot for him to acquire. Oh god, he takes a rail. He's just, yeah, asking to be fragged. And gets fragged just as heavy spawns, so he can't even challenge for the heavy. If you can find any damage on the exit, it would be amazing, but instead of finding damage, you might find that he's lost another life. Oh, base misses his jump. I'm going to slowly trot around. Find him one more time. These rockets are actually quite nice, and base is falling off. He's going to have to rocket jump back up. Buxter's done some great damage, in fact. Almost able to get a mutual, or even just like a straight up kill. Oh, the machine gun, really, really good. But Buxter does not want to commit to a rail angle, and Base scared of that. I think if Buxter knew that Base was railable, he might have even considered going for the sort of daredevilish rail duel. Drop 2 seconds now until heavy. Buxter can see it. The jump around from Base lets Buxter get onto it, but the rockets are mostly landing for Base. And he's going to make it 4-0. Buxter still has him on the ropes in terms of control, so he can push forward a little bit, but he needs those weapons himself. Buxter has found the light armor. He's got Tri-Bolt, which actually can have a fair amount of effect. Race over to the Mega. Going to be won by Buxter. Well, Tri-Bolt needs to hit a little bit more, and Base is just going to push forward. Makes Tri-Bolt very, very awkward for Buxter. Oh my god, suddenly everything connects. That was the sweet spot distance, and I think Base misjudged it. Now Base can familiarize himself with the Tri-Bolt. A couple of seconds until Mega's up. Buxter reducing that gap a little bit. Oh god, he's hit himself! And Buxter goes back forward, hits the easy rail. Let's actually go over to Buxter. Excuse me, I should have been on him before. He's actually acquired a decent amount of control. If he can get himself onto some rockets soon. Oh, this is actually dangerous. He might not even want to. I think he just heard Piercing Sight get used by Base. He needs that LG to start landing, and it was so late to land. LG. It's looking like my LG, if I'm honest. There was a good, like, half a second where there's just no damage coming out, and Base is fairly consistent throughout, I want to say. See, 37 for Base, 16 LG for Buxter. I mean, I'll give like a 10% band, because there's a lot of spam that can happen with LG, especially when you're really trying to hold an angle in case enemies pushing behind it. But, okay, sure, then you put it to 26%, which is still bad. And that's really a critical moment just there. Buxter's got more chances to get back in, but he's got to... God, he's potentially got to invest more death into getting back into control, especially now that Base is on 300 collective health and armor. He either needs to get an amazing setup to a fight so he can lock down the kill in one fight, or he's just going to have to make it very difficult for Base to keep control going himself.
5-minute warning.
So Buxter looking to try to get into control now. Lots of spinning around of the rockets. Base really shaky on his aim. He had a good few rockets, but he just couldn't get the damage to last the whole way. 10 seconds until the Mega spawns. There's a good shot. Can Buxter get back into that room before Mega's taken? I don't think he'll be able to. He might just try and set up for the heavy once more. Piercing Sight is going to come up in a second. He knows where he's at. Moves away from that rail angle. Hits the shot. Okay, that's a big rail to land. Now Base has no armor. His overstack health is incredibly low. And Buxter's got to figure out how he wants to get into the fight. He wants to get those rockets. Does get to the ledge grab at the top. Back over to the maximum default armor. But he actually pushes into this, although the Mega does get taken. Stacks are fairly even at the moment, but the rocket hits for 52 damage, and Base is going to back out of there. Buxter really needs to just pick up a rocket launcher just to get that extra ammo. Realizing that Base isn't going to give that angle easily. I don't think he's got solid timing on Mega. He's just got a rough estimation of when it's going to come out. He needs those rockets, and then he's got to dart down. I think he's just realized now that he's not going to get this heavy easily. He's found it. Base is not going to lock himself to it, because that could have been dangerous. That would have been a bit of a coin flip, essentially, as to who would have come out on top. We've got some good control now for Buxter. Oh, he messes the jump. I think he's assuming that he would just weeble over towards the teleporter exit. Just gonna get rid of those hourglasses. I like that. The base is in passive mode. 3 frag window. I mean, this is his expertise. Coming into a fairly even fight at the moment, but base isn't going to want to fight. Even if there's an even stack, even if he's got a chance of winning it, he won't go for the fight unless it's 100%. And Buxter, again, missing a lot of shots. And he needs to use piercing sight, ideally when base isn't listening, and base knows that he's using it there. Oh, he almost knocks him off. Rocket jump up, misses as well. This is looking more and more like it's going to be a mega health for base. This has gone wrong. Super, super wrong. Base might find him now. He's up at the top. Rail misses though. There's a chance now for Buxter. But he keeps missing. Every rail is going wrong for him. The one silver lining is that base also isn't hitting, but he's overstacked. He finds his way into control without having to overcommit to a fight, thanks to a couple of movement errors from Buxter, thanks to a couple of missed shots from Buxter. He's trying to get out a little bit, but base realizes he can get towards the mega health. He knows that Buxter's weak, and that he can re-extend that lead safely. That's all part of the plan for base. Base only goes for the frag in the second half of the game, and he's in the lead, when he knows it is a dead certain. Buxter drops, and I mean, yeah, Buxter calls it GG's. I'd also call it GG's right there. That's game over. I mean, Buxter made a good effort at getting into control every time. I really see some incredibly strong plays, but it's just about having that, having the aim to match the strong decision-making ability that we could clearly see that Buxter has. You know, there's a lot of theory that goes behind how you get into control versus a player. And there's lots of different ways you can do it, and Buxter was clearly showing us a variety of those different ways. But, you know, when push comes to shove, you've also got to hit those crucial rails. You've got to hit those right pop rockets. You've got to get that move. I mean, it's not maybe just about the aim, but also getting that movement right too. So we are going to see base move into the winner bracket final. And I have literally no idea what the status of the other game. Wait, Chera beat Agent? Why is Agent not... Wait, what? I don't understand, guys. I don't understand. What's up, Scrimitsu? Hello, everyone who's tuned in as well, by the way. I don't know what happened with Chera and Agent. Was anyone watching Agent stream? Can anyone give me anything? Yo, Cyber. How's it going, man? I don't know. I don't know. Someone give me answers. Any Agent stream frequenters? You checked when his match started and they hadn't started yet. Let's have a look. Is Agent streaming?